So my first job was working at Target. Yeah. Oh boy, that was an exciting time in my life. Not really. But seriously, there were many things that were kind of cool about that job. Like like stuff. But anyway, let me tell you about my first job. So when I was young, I finally got enough of begging my parents for money and decided to enter into the workforce. I mean, you know, what kid doesn't want to rack up those Benjamins? Now, I applied to a bunch of places, but Target was actually the only one that called me back. But just for the record, I ain't mad at none of y'all who didn't call me back, because, you know, clearly you missed out. Look at me now. Now, my job was store stalker or shelf stalker. I actually don't remember what the actual title was called, but basically my whole job was stocking shelves. Yeah, so it was pretty boring, to be honest with you guys. Now, what I do remember most about my first job was that initially I was pretty excited. I remember getting my first paycheck and thinking, finally, I have money. You know, it was feeling great until I actually didn't need the music. I just liked it. Okay. Anyway, back to the story. My job was great until after the first 2 weeks, because I soon realized that there are two types of people who work at Target. And later in life, I would also realize there is always two types of people who work differently. The first type is hardworking people. The second type is not. So we team up, and there was always 2 to 3 people in the team, and it was our job to take everything out of the boxes and stock them on the shelves. Yeah, so being that we were shelf stalkers, you get what I'm trying to say. And so if you were smart, you would always team up with someone who was destroying the stock game, you know, like the beast of the stalkers. I was lucky because I was in training, and my training was a guy by the name of Taylor. Now, Taylor was awesome. I mean, he had been working at Target for a few years, and when it comes to stocking shelves, he was a master. He was like graceful with boxes. It was ridiculous. Now, of course, on this particular day, Taylor called out sick. Thanks, Taylor. And while everyone was teaming up, I was placed with Steve because I didn't know who else to team up with. Now, Steve was everything Taylor wasn't. He was definitely not graceful. In fact, Steve was pretty horrible, guys. I mean, I think we all have, you know, met a Steve in our lives. You know, the type of guy who walks in, and as soon as he hits the clock, he grabs a blanket and pillow and he sleeps for the next 8 hours. Bruh. Like, it's real out here. Now, everyone has to deal with lazy people. It comes with the territory. But what made working at Target so incredibly annoying and hard was just how incredibly tedious the job can be. I mean, you know, next time you find yourself at a Target, please do this. Go find an aisle with hair barrettes or cosmetics or breakfast cereals and tell me that it doesn't look hellish. Needless to say, Steve was no help, but something interesting happened one day. I was sitting across Steve in the break room, and we got to talking about life plans and goals, because, you know, who doesn't do that in the break room? And Steve begins to talk about wanting to enter into college to pursue music and how excited he was to eventually go for his goal. And when I tell you that Steve lit up, he lit up. I mean, I began to see in Steve what I saw in myself and what I continually see in others, and that is, when it came to things we were passionate and cared about, it gave us purpose. It gave us joy. Guys, many of us are punching a clock in life, unhappy, sad, and only doing the bare minimum, all the while holding within ourselves this passion, this purpose. Working a job can be tedious, especially one that you don't love. So I ask you guys, stop waiting on someone to give you permission to pursue those dreams, because, you know, ain't nobody got time to stock shelves or work a job that you hate for the rest of your life. I'm just saying. But you know what you do got time for? Hit that sub button. I'd appreciate it. All right, guys. Until next video. Peace.